welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we are live on iRacing for round 3 of the Pagnian Imports GTE Championship. Round 3 sees us at Suzuka International Racing Course GP. The session tonight at Suzuka, we've got 10 minutes of practice, weather conditions are clear, it's 10 minutes for qualifying and then the race at 40 minutes. Cars are all capped to 47% fuels, they will need to stop to be able to finish out the race. And in our GTE Championship we have got rolling starts set for the race. And our championship lead goes to Sebastian Vandel after round 2, sitting on 480 points. And then last week we were at Sebring International Raceway. We saw Brendan Meyer qualify pole position and go on to take the race win, and Sebastian Vandel went on to secure the fastest lap, getting those extra bonus points to go towards his championship. And then looking over at the track for Suzuka, so we are in Japan. Track length is 5.75 kilometers. It is very fast, very technical, and it is very enduring, so it's going to be great to see how the guys fare out there in their GTEs tonight. If you're joining us for the stream, jump in the chat, say hello. Don't be shy, let us know who you're here to support tonight. And our new viewers, don't forget to hit that follow button as well. See if you can help us climb to that 300 follower count. And we got Hypes on the stream, and Mick, thanks for jumping on. So we got a fair few loading into the session still at the moment. There's 25 drivers registered. Currently watching Adrian Simpson in his Porsche. So practice session not yet seeing a timed lap come on. And we did have the session linger for a little bit to load up. So just waiting for the servers to come available. So Brendan Meyer had a fantastic run in the Porsche last week. Will he be able to continue that run tonight? So is that sounding a bit better now, Mick? We may be getting some interruptions as well. But you have storms edging around here. We did seem to get a little bit of a lag spike hitting, so our bit rate actually increased, strangely enough, so we might have got a bit of interference at that point. First time to come in on practice is Adrian Simpson. Simpson set at 1:56. Steph was then next to get a time in, setting a 2:07. More times coming through now. Cochrane sets at 58.2. Arnie at 58.5. So some pretty good times coming through already. There's only going to be about another lap left of open practice, and they're down to 10 minutes to qualify. There's points on the line. 50 points up for grabs for pole position. I think we've got Seth Brown debuting tonight as well. So all the best to Seth. He's running the Porsche 911 RSR. It seems to have been a pretty popular choice for the GTE series. And our drivers do all need to actually keep running that same car. If they do change cars in between the rounds, they will void any points earned in it. And there was a car change last week, costing a driver 82 points. jump on board for a lap around Suzuka. Big lock on those brakes as he trails down through those chicanes. That's matching team liveries there between Van Der and Brown. Having a bit of fun there, he just cut the track with perfect timing. Yes, Ricky is back in the Ford. He's parked up in pit lane at the moment. He hasn't got a time on. Fair few drivers parked up in the pits at the moment. That's the end of the practice session. There we go, it quickly loads us across into qualifying. So they'll be scrambling out on the track as fast as they can. Long train of traffic coming out of pit lane. This looks like it may be a Ferrari, or is it a Corvette? This is Michael Whiteman. Ricky's not bringing out the Ford for you yet, Mick. Drivers will also be looking to try and put some space so they're not going to be hindered by lap times, but then also try and gauge who is up ahead, try and get that slipstream. They may be able to get a bit more time from their lap. There you go, Mick, there's your Ford GTE. It is a fantastic sounding car. Philip Buckland in the Ferrari 488. That's the BMW M8 GTE. It's also been a pretty popular choice. It's like Porsche and BMW seems to have been the pick. And then next up, which is probably the Ferrari. So you can find someone that's not too far off from starting a lap. Damien Cross in the Corvette. Spartus has just started a lap. Pavlovic may not be far from. Oh, he's having some dramas. You see how windy that section of the track is. Great view from up from the blimp. Hopefully we're going to be able to catch the start of a lap with Meyer, pretty sure. He's about 30 seconds away from crossing the line. Oh, a big lock up in a slide. And we'll jump on board the Porsche 911 for a lap around Suzuka with Brendan Meyer. Only a couple of corners away from finishing this lap up. Making things interesting, just the way the rolling start will actually commence as well. It's called drivers off guard. But turn one rather fast if you get that line perfect. It's a double apex. And easy to catch you right out into that exit line, out on the grass. A lot of understeer on this, a very long right-hander, followed by a left-hander going uphill. Oh, we've clipped that curb. Will he save it and continue on, or is he going to bring the car in? He's taken no damage. So he's trying to get that full exit curb. It doesn't take much just for that little bit of tyre off. We haven't got a qualifying time in yet, so he's still fine. And that hairpin runs right, very wide. Another hairpin to the left, and that crest mid-apex. Getting on that throttle will spool it up, put you into a slide. Fighting that steering while he's under braking. So the GTE has no ABS. So very easy to lock those brakes up. Back straight, take as much inside curb, double apex onto another straight. And through the chicanes, curbs very aggressive. And then back onto pit straight. Hopefully some better luck for Brendan this lap around. Can always guarantee a spin if we jump on board usually. So Meyer still does actually hold pole. They did get some times in. 155.6 is pole. Royce Lynn setting a 55.7, high to 56.2. Jones 56.4. We've got Urquhart, Baz and Cross all in with the 56s. Times are very tight between Urquhart and Baz. A .768 to a 775. Will Urquhart improve his time here? He's been sitting in the draft. The teammate ahead. So there's a minute left of the session. So if drivers aren't too far off from the control line, that may give them enough time to get one more lap in afterwards. Otherwise this will be the final lap for most drivers. Heffy yet to get a time on the board. Corey Brand not getting in a time. Blake Gallen yet to set a time as well. There's a car just off the track. Vandell struggling. He did this last week as well at Sebring, and he had a huge comeback. Okay, from qualifying around 23rd to finish on second position. There's been some movement as well. Hyde's improved his time. Crawford's qualified 4th. There's qualifying complete. Coley's in the pits at the moment. She's qualified at 2:08. Buckland's done a 2:05. Furlow and Phillips also getting in with the 2 minutes. And moved up into P12. Teammates having a bit of arge-barge there. Fun at the end of the qualifying. Arnie's done a 57.4 and that's qualified in 14th. He should have a bit of time to be able to finish up the lap. Cross should only be a few corners away as well. Maya gets in final qualifying lap. That lap was a 56.3. He's qualified a 55.6. That's a pit entrance. So that is it for our qualifying. So we'll take a look at the qualifying results. And for round 3, we have Brendan Meyer taking pole position with a 55.6. And the first 10 starters is Roycelyn, Ricky Hyde, Stuart Crawford, Adrian Simpson, Cameron Jones, Blake Urquhart, David Baz, Damien Cross, and Blake Gallen. And we've got 28 cars gridding up for the race. And they've all readied as well, so we'll be going straight over into the grid, which is fantastic. So Spicoli has not quite readied up yet. The session will boot over in a moment. Then we'll be counting down, ready for the rolling start. Supercrush. Yeah, KFC should be a official sponsor. Yeah, there's plenty of KFC cars out there. Always makes me want to go and get a feed just from seeing the amount of KFC cars getting around the track each time. And then we'll try and get Miles are just hungry, yep. The guys always say they throw some chicken wings out the window to try and cause some slip-ups for the other drivers. Even in our casual races, we'll in the downtime, jump in and have a bit of fun with our KFC guys, and then decided to rock up with some Red Rooster liveries just to stir the pot. So it was some good fun. So just waiting on 3 drivers to ready. With Meyer taking pole, he will be in control of the race. And passing is permitted once the race conditions get green flag. So the only driver that has to be cautious not to pass before the control line is position 2. So they'll have to really keep an eye on Meyer just to where he is so he can try and get that run. There you go, drivers have readied up now. Try and get a nice aerial view, try and see all this movement for the start. It's on board the chopper, chasing our front row. So pace car is in. So as soon as they get green flag, they can pass, and Meyer takes off into free. All the KFC guys are absolutely snaking in through the back. I think they've just gained 1, maybe 2 positions. Good control of the start for Meyer. Lynn's been able to hold on relatively well. Crawford's moved up a position that's seen Hyde drop back. And it looks like a clean getaway to the start as well. Just as I say, it looks like there's been some contact. Oh, a big slide again, 2 cars sliding on through. Not sure if there was contact between the two, if it was just a tandem slide, narrowly avoiding Simpson in it. There's been a car. He's off the racing line. He's waiting for a gap to get through. It's Blake Gallen. Not sure if Patterson's got some damage or he may be redressing the position. So maybe some wounded cars that may have to come in for some repairs. They do have fast repairs to use. That's going to cost them some time to come down pit lane. Look at that slingshot that Lynn is putting on Meyer. But he's going to have that inside line to go. It's a lot of pace to hold. Brilliantly executed by Lynn. Looks like Baz has got a bit of pace. He seems to be closing in on Cochrane for position 7. And about a second ahead, Blake Urquhart. There's quite a gap to the front runners then. There's nearly 5 seconds. That's Jones P5, Hyde P4. Crawford P3, hunting down Meyer. Having lost the lead after lap 1. Lean slingshotting around for turn 1. It was a fantastic pass. And he's starting to put some gap. Hey, GTE Champ, thanks for jumping on. And Jenna Lee, thanks for jumping on as well. Unable to return the move and slingshot through turn 1 as Lynn did. Jones appears to be putting down some pace to try and catch up to Hyde. Hyde may have to start considering defensive positions. Current fastest lap of the race is Vandel. He's having some dramas and off track. That's just caused him to end up coming back and making contact with Pavlovic. And while that's unfolding on, he's tucking back, trying to keep clear from it. Look for an opening, maybe get around the two if they do get entangled. Whiteman's just come into the pits. He's got quite a lengthy stop. Considering they've got fast repairs to use, he may have gone out on a qualifying setup. That could be the case as well. Yeah, it was 47.4 second stop. So it's likely having to take fuel on. It's a fast repair will only take a few seconds. Oh, Myers now in that slipstream. Crawford's trying to get a 2-car draft. Hyde's succumbed to Jones. There is a battle going between Furlow and Arnie. Oh, Arnie's just gone off. I'm not sure if he was caught up behind another car and made a touch. I think that may have been standalone. It looked like it may have been a green car that was around, and I'm not sure what other green cars we got. An error made by Jones. That's just been given a big opportunity for pace for Hyde as he comes down along that back straight. He's probing for an opening as well. Oh, big slide. He follows through, but he's lucky. What a slide for Jones. Lucky it came out into the gravel trap. And it is all concrete. Ripple strips, if I can get a word out. Jones drops back several positions now. Cochran moves through, as does Baz and Urquhart. So that's given a big amount of relief for Hyde. He's got nearly 4-second gap to the next position. These front three are really pulling away. Crawford's another couple of seconds ahead. these three, all less than a second between each other. All it's going to take is one tiny little mistake. Put that throttle at the wrong spot, and it's going to be enough just to lose that bit of speed and have them looking to open up around those corners on you and done. Will Meyer be able to potentially close in and take a shot at a slingshot? Or is Lynn will be able to potentially pull away again? He was putting some good gap in before. Drama's unfolding for Phillips. Let's Patterson move up a spot. I think Patterson's got a bent rear wing. And it is definitely bent. Oh, big tow here. It must have been an incident going on. 3 cars suddenly towing. Let's have a go back and have a look and see what was going on there. There we go, looks like a pretty big stack. So he goes out. That is huge, big flip. So we'll call it late caution.
The yellow flag is out.
It's a pretty big incident that's going on between the three. Cross Haitley and Phillips all caught up in it. Should go back to live, would be easier. So now give the 3 drivers an opportunity to get their toes underway. They're not going to be down too much. There's no wave arounds or lucky dogs. At least they will be having an opportunity to get going here because they are still towing at the moment. While they're forming up, we might go back and actually check out that incident with them and get on board for that flipping car. It was quite the incident. Have to rewind a little bit here. Yes, that's Haitley. It's actually a separate incident by the look of it. There we go. Oh, that's nauseating seeing that. Full speed down, pit straight, sudden stationary car. Huge hit. So we'll see Lynn in control of the restart. So safety car only just coming out. It's a longer track. So we will be reducing the amount of safety laps. It's likely the game will throw 3 in. So we'll try and get it so it's 1 to green. So a few drivers coming in and utilising the pits. Wyman having pit before, possibly coming out with not enough fuel to start the race. Brown pitting. Pit stops coming through. It's looking around 40 seconds for a stop. So it'll be taking on fuel. Could potentially be taking on tyres here. They should be able to survive a lap. Suzuka is a little bit tough on the tyres. So if they start to see some lap times dwindling down, Schooler just had a blink out. Reappears. Had Van Del make use of the pits. And it's within the pit window as well. Haley's recovered, as has Cross. Phillips recovered as well. So it's only going to see him 1 lap down at this point. Traffic, 27 cars following the tail of Royce Lynn. The driver starting to go in. Stays out on track, doesn't choose to get the fuel. Gallen coming in. Simpson's missed the bait. Oh, he's completely lost his spot. Maybe sharing a pit box as well. So it is a very short pit lane. Confusion going on. Whiteman's back in. So you look at the cars get about 30 to 35 minutes worth of fuel. It's having safety car coming out at that point after 6 laps should I say. The drivers will be getting informed to get back into position now, ready for the restart. It will be single file. Lap cars will be to the rear. Safety car should come in over the course of this lap. I'm pretty sure the first drivers coming in the pit may be wearing a post-race penalty as well, because pit road is usually closed at that point. This will be a great experience for some of our newer drivers that have transitioned over into iRacing from our Project Cars 2 series as well. To be under safety car procedure. The cars are bunching up. We should be getting close to restart now. That'll be at the halfway mark. This is reducing the laps so we don't have to go through endless safety laps. It's not too bad in oval circumstances on the game, but it's way more time than we need to get going. Get safety cars in. So race about to be given green flag.
Green, green, green.
Maya gets away beautifully. Hyde moves up into position 2. Cochrane position 3. Furlow position 4. These drivers didn't pit. Oh, there's an off there. I think that's Hyde. He's off track, so it's safe. We don't have a significant incident. Meyer flying ahead. He's put 1.7 seconds over position 2, and that's Cochrane. I think there's been some contact between a few drivers. Simpson looking to try and make some spots here. He's sandwiched in the traffic. There's Lynn, who was our race leader before pitting in. Not sure if he may have gone in and taken pit during closed pits, or if that was the opportunity. Oh, I think that was a little bit of netcode touch there, putting Lynn into a spin. So it looked like they had a bit of rubbing room still. Yeah, Gunner, not much luck for the team today. That can definitely happen at Suzuka. It is quite a wild track. It is very unforgiving. Our league's team doing nicely up towards the front. We've got Cochrane, Furler and Gallant. They will need to pit, as does Meyer. So first drivers that have been in and taken on some fuel is Stuart Crawford. He's spent 9.3 seconds in the stop. That is rather quick, so it's only a splash of fuel. Similar pit time goes to David Baz, 9.1 seconds. And they were pitting in that earlier section of the safety car. Jonathan Gallen also pitting during safety car, 9.3 seconds. Harney, Jones and Pavlovic all closing in on each other here. Cochrane not closing that gap. Myers still keeping around 1.7 to 1.8 seconds. So he hasn't managed to be able to completely break away yet. Furlow and Blake Allen peeled off from the top end to take some fuel now. Be interesting to see if anyone takes on tyres. They may be lucky to be able to scrape through with having the safety laps come out. It would have been a little bit of conserving going on, some strategies being contemplated during that time. Start contemplating when do you come in and what do you need to change now that the safety car has come out. That's Hyde giving Brand a flash of lights, let him know he's going to make a pass. I'm not sure if that car is underperforming for Brand at the moment. Has he taken damage on this lap? Hyde and that Ford just completely flew straight through. They're on the same lap, so it's not a blue flag situation. Wherever he's just recovering from an error. Jones made a pass on Arnie. Looks like Arnie may have made a mistake, so he's dropped back a fair bit from the two now. Race lead still belongs to Brendan Meyer. There's 13.5 minutes to go. Looks like all drivers have been in and taken fuel, excluding Dan Bartosh, Mark Cochrane and Brendan Meyer. And here comes Bartosh now. I do love that Castrol livery that he's running on that BMW. Some fantastic work done on all the liveries for the cars. Pavlovic has been passed by Jones. He's making heaps of movement. So he's gained a few positions just from a couple of laps. Looks like some lap traffic up ahead. I think that may be Buckland's car. Yeah, Philip Buckland in the Ferrari, so he's currently position 25. Didn't miss any crazy action, Mick, from the restart, a few little offs. Looks like some contact going on between Vandel and Brown. But Vandel's managed to get a pass on Brown. Pavlovic's made an error, he's dropped back. He was sitting right behind Jones after being passed. Baz and Arnie have moved through. Look at this bunch up of traffic here. And they're very close to the cars ahead. Looks like Arnie really struggling for speed down that straight. The Corvette unable to try and rein in the draft to the cars on ahead. Pavlovic looking to play defensive here. Vandel and Brown probing. Vandel goes for an outside move. Can he hold it? Just sneaks in. That was one quick pass. Just tucked that car in. Lock of the rear. Some great battle going on here for position 9 that they're all fighting for. Vandel's moving on through. That's our championship leader. He's qualifying towards the back again. Managed to recover back up to position 2 last week. Is that what he's trying to do at the moment? Could be the case. Miles probably is running that wing a bit different. That is the big thing with Suzuka. There is that much variance going on. Oh, Jones, nearly unsafe re-entry coming in. Having overshot that corner. So it'll be a slowdown request being on there for him. And up here, you can see Jones backing right off along that straight, trying to avoid that post-race time penalty, or even coming in and taking a drive-through penalty as well. Jones only just narrowly coming in close towards teammate John Gallen. Cochrane's dropping away from race lead now. We're seeing 2.5 second gap between P1 and P2. However, Cochrane's still getting in some very nice lap times. He's got about 3.2 seconds between position 2 and 3. 8.5 minutes left on the clock. So currently lap 13. Brendan Meyer has led for 8 of those laps. Lynn for 5. The pit during safety car has cost Lynn big time. He's just past Winrow now. Some bunched up traffic again. Oliver Patterson moving up through. He's got some damage to that car as well. Buckland letting the lap traffic through. Patterson's just coming to the pits. Not sure if he's parked up. He may have been caught up in something. He's been stationary for some time. We're getting very close to the point that we're likely going to have to see the front runners come in and take fuel. They've been getting some pretty decent times up the front, so they're not overly holding back. Previous lap for Meyer was a 58.196. Cochrane stays out on track. That thing's definitely got to be getting light on fuel. Miles, yeah, could possibly be that Cochrane was holding back a little bit. We've had some variation in the weather conditions too. It's clouded over. If Cochrane was conserving at that point, now he's got open track. He would be going flat foot now, try and put as much gap as he can. Blake Urquhart's now in position 2. He has been in a pit. A very quick stop, 7.6 seconds. It's only a very quick splash of fuel. There's 4.5 minutes to go. There's only about 2 to 3 laps remaining. If Cochrane is able to make this car's fuel last out just for 2 more laps, he could potentially stay out in the lead. This could be interesting. Lock of the brakes is putting heaps of pace down into the chicane. He couldn't brake much more later than that. No, he's coming in, he's needing the fuel. That means a lead change going to Urquhart. Crawford P2, right on the tail. Schooler P3. John Gallen in P4. So that's the first 5 cars going to KC Century Motorsports. Jones being in P5. With our championship leader currently in position 7, just under 3 minutes left. He only had about a 50-point lead in the championship, and that was from a good comeback last week, getting up into position 2. But if he's only down to position 7 at this stage, we could actually see a championship lead change from tonight's round. Looks like Bartis has just retired out or suffered disconnect. But it'd be interesting just if drivers are coming in under closed pits, whether they've been given a penalty they've had to serve. Quite a bit of a frame rate spike then. Schooler and Gallen closing in. Gallen looking for an opportunity. He's sandwiched between two Porsches here. Look at that. He's going to slingshot around Gallen here. Surely there is no room to move here. With Cameron Jones in the Porsche. Gallen's Corvette managing to pull away a bit better. And Baz closing right in now as well. It's 30 seconds left. We're coming up to last laps. It'll be white flag conditions. Urquhart has a 1.5 second lead. Look at that line of traffic for the fight. Here we go. It's final lap. I think it's only corners away from the finish. And the race win goes to Blake Urquhart. Getting some weird data coming through where he's had post-race penalties applied. There's a lot of drivers that have been pitting under closed conditions. It's now showing that Schoolers have managed to cross the finish line in first. So it is rather interesting results coming through. So I'm going to have to actually have a look and see what the actual results come through for it. It's showing that Schoolers taken over the win. Won't even. That's all the drivers now complete. So we'll take a look at those results now and see what it's actually giving us. No, there is. That is correct there. So it was a little bit of some strange data showing through at the finish as it's fixing things up. So our race winner after 18 laps at Suzuka for round 3 of the Pagnian Imports GTE Championship is Blake Urquhart, and then Stuart Crawford takes podium in position 2 and John Gallen in position 3. And then our top 10 finishers is then Jason Schooler, Sebastian Vardell, Cameron Jones, David Bads, Brendan Meyer, Seth Brown and Mark Cochran. So it was a pretty good comeback after that pit for Cochran. Pitting on that second last lap as well. And then we'll cast down through the remaining drivers. And it'll be interesting to see if there was any penalties going through for that. Plenty of burnouts going on. Perfect spot for someone to be parking up as I'm unmuting our podium drivers. Congratulations guys, good run.
Thanks JT, bit of fun.
Yeah, take the win, good comeback through it all.
Yeah, no, that was quite surprising. I don't know how I managed to come P1, but from 7th back to 1st, car felt great as always, but shocked that the front runners didn't pit when I did.
Yeah, quite interesting.
Different strap.
Yeah, cost it in the end, but yeah, couldn't really tell what could happen with what was going on with Suzuka as it was.
Yeah, no, it's for me for hating this track, I've done alright. Bit of work, sweating, but go on to next week and see how we go.
Yeah, that's it. And congrats, Scout. Good run up on the podium.
Yeah, I was in shock. Didn't know what came about then.
Yeah, almost thought you got a bit of weird data coming through. I thought there must have been some post-race penalties of Blake's. It just suddenly said he dropped down into about 19th position, so I thought you had the win, and it's all finally caught back up. So we didn't know if there was some drivers going in that might have been pitting, well, in under closed pits.
I think I've seen a couple of people ahead of me do that, go in while it was closed.
Managed to get in at the right time.
Yeah, wait for it to say open, go in, then send it.
Yeah, I think that was perfect timing when you guys went in, saw a big line of traffic as you peeled off to grab that fuel at that stage, and then only, what, 9.1 seconds for a pit stop about for you guys, so it's pretty quick. Splash of fuel and then back out under that safety car and ready for the restart.
Yeah, I could have went a little bit less extra fuel, but yeah, insane. Finished with 13 litres on board, so enough to do a burnout at the end.
Yeah, that's what counts. Gotta have victory burnouts.
I had 8.1, so I could have done the whole lap. I was a bit worried that I wasn't going to make it, but no, I had plenty. But to have a first to fourth, can't be any happier, and to have 3 of us on the podium, even better. So come back stronger next week.
Yeah, well, there's the 5 of yous up there for a while Cam was up there.
Yeah, no, we would have had a 5, but you know, we just thought we'd just calm it down on the family feast, you know.
That's it.
But
can't afford to shout that much KFC tonight.
That's it, mate. Gets too dear these days, you know. Maybe next week.
Yeah, congrats. You've done a fantastic job.
Thanks, JT.
Yeah, thanks, JT, and thanks again.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for a good race. Nice and clean from in my perspective.
Yeah, the start was looking pretty good. There was no contact for pretty much the whole lap, so it was.
I got a little tag, but other than that, we got going again.
And then some big incidents down turn 1 later on that race that brought out the safety car with flicking cars.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on here? Right, well done, Blake. Well done, Stuart. Good podium, mate.
Yeah, you too, boys.
Yeah, congrats, guys.
Well done.
And good luck with the practice for next week at Laguna Seca.
That should be good, mate.
Cheers, everyone.
Yeah, congrats, guys. There we have our podium finishes. It's Blake Urquhart taking the win for round 3, and then it was John Gallen in podium on P3, and Stuart Crawford not making it into the chat. He ended up finishing in 2nd, so congratulations to a podium and all the drivers on an exciting race. And then we are at Laguna Seca next week for round 4. It's going to be very tight racing. We're seeing around 30 cars getting on the grid in these GTEs, so do not miss that. We will be live again at 7:35 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time on Monday night. And then we've got more GTE action on Project Cars 2 this Thursday night, so don't miss that. It'll be some great fun as well. So thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you trackside next time.